earnings are flowing in. Dr. Goenka is now joining us to talk more about their quarterly numbers at Firstsource and also the transaction which they've announced. Mr. Goenka, afternoon. Thanks so much for your time. If we talk about the quarterly performance, it appeared slightly flattish, but what went around managing, at the company level, operating in that quarter? If you could share a little more highlights behind the scene.
It's flattish if you look at it quarter on quarter. If you look at quarter two of last year and compare it to quarter two of this year, so the year-on-year growth for revenue has been 20.3%. There has been a margin expansion of 0.59% on a year-on-year basis. And PAT is, again, significantly higher than what it was last year. But yes, you're right. On a quarter-to-quarter basis, it's flattish, absolutely.
Sir, sometimes I feel that the stock market's obsession with quarterly performance is, I don't know whether it's right or not, it actually clouds the bigger things which are actually happening at the company level. Talk to us about the big trends which are really happening at the company. Every other peer of yours we speak to on the channel is talking about transformational, the sector is actually going through and much more structural changes. Talk to us your own observation at Firstsource and from your vantage point.
We are in the process of transiting from being a BPO player to being a platform and transformation player. This quarter, 17% of the wins we had were from digital. A year ago, we didn't have digital at all. We've just won a very major contract in the healthcare space. It's the largest deal that has been struck in the BPaaS sector. It's $210 million, of which we, along with a partner, had bid. Our share is about $110 million. And we won this in face of competition from TCS, Infosys, you name it. So it was a little bit like a David versus Goliath kind of a competition. But we won. So this is the first major win against the biggies that we've had. So it's a beginning of a transformation. And transformation is not easy, but it is something that's happening very definitely, very certainly. And it's beginning to manifest in the revenue mix. It's beginning to manifest in the wins mix. It's beginning to manifest in the way we are viewed by our clients. So I think it's a process, and we expect a much greater impact of this transformation and this transition to a platform play to be visible from quarter four of this year onwards.
Interesting. That's a very specific guideline which you've given. So also talk to us about this transaction which you have announced, the acquisition of Stonehill, and also the math behind it, the valuations, the transaction details, how much have you paid for it, and is it value accretive? What kind of strategic benefits do you draw from this transaction?
Okay. So we've paid 8 times EBITDA for Stonehill. So we've paid $27 million, of which 80% gets paid now. 20% depends upon performance over the next 12 months. The current profit of Stonehill is $2.3 million on a net basis. We expect this to grow to at least $7.5 million in the next 4 years. Our existing business in mortgages is largely onshore. This is predominantly offshore. So we do believe that there is an opportunity to cross-sell to the existing Firstsource mortgage consumers as well as the existing Stonehill consumers. So a cross-linkage of the onshore and offshore, and that can be an additional business. And so we expect this to be bottom line accretive. We expect this to be value accretive. This is very complementary to our current business. And this is basically, I would say this is in the space of mortgage QC. So, it's a different space for us. It's something that should add value to our clients and to our business.
So, Goenka, if you could explain how meaningfully this value add is expected, and by when or which quarter would you really start seeing the full benefits, the full synergies of this transaction?
I think by the time we complete the transaction and everything gets done and the licenses get transferred and everything, you're looking at probably December. And give it 1 or 2 quarters thereafter for the cross benefits to really start flowing in. But then you should see it. But as I said, Q4 of this year onwards, we do expect to see a significant reflection of what we have been doing in terms of transformation within the company.
It's a wonderful line, headlineable stuff, very specific. Q4 onwards, all the efforts of the transformation the company has been putting in will start reflecting meaningfully. All right, Mr. Goenka, we'll let you go on that one. Thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to having you once again, probably, because I think something went wrong with your frame, but we would like to scratch that point a little more with you one of these days. Thanks for your time today.